New York Congressman and Republican candidate for governor in New York, Lee Zeldin. Congressman, good to see you. It's interesting to me if you look at the lay of the land right now. Democrats are mad at Biden. Biden's mad at his staff. But the American people are the ones who end up dealing with these policies. I mean, just last night, the cost of a gallon of gas jumped 5 cents in one night. So I just, I know you're running for governor, and I know a lot of people are your colleagues that you're talking to. Walk me through, politically speaking, how this plays out for Democrats.
Oh, it's devastating. This is hitting people where it hurts the most. The economy is certainly top of mind for many Americans. And the hardest part is that people, the average American, understands what should be done about it. So when you cut off Russian oil imports, the average American says, nah, don't run off to Iran and Venezuela. Don't go to other adversaries. How about we ramp up domestic production? How about we become energy independent again? Wouldn't that make sense? Maybe instead of canceling Keystone XL pipeline and fast tracking Nord Stream 2, it should have been the other way around. The average American sees, from the supply chain crisis everyone's talking about to Congress spending new money that it doesn't have. This isn't a hindsight is 2020 when you look back at Janet Yellen's comments. The average American was watching this time last year, scratching their own head, saying, listen, I'm not the expert. I'm not, in charge of the Treasury Department. I'm not the chairman of the Federal Reserve. But this doesn't feel transitory. This does feel like it's caused by policies and missed opportunities. And unfortunately, this Biden administration has been stuck in the spin zone, while the rest of our country has been asking to be just shoot straight with me and enact policies that are filled with common sense, that are actually going to deal with these top concerns of mine.
Okay, talking about those policies, if Republicans do get back the majority, what are some of those policies that they would put in place that would help immediately?
Well, I do think that we need to ramp up domestic energy production. There are pipeline applications, whether they're at the federal level, we see some at the state level, that are collecting dust, being delayed or denied, that instead should be getting approved. We shouldn't be passing multi-trillion-dollar bill after multi-trillion-dollar supplementary bill without even caring where the last money was spent, or how much is still not yet used, or what kind of adjustments need to be made for efficiency. I think from the oversight standpoint, there's just a lack of accountability. Right now, I serve on the House Financial Services Committee. Maxine Waters is the chair of that committee. From an oversight function, there's a big difference between Chairwoman Maxine Waters or a Chairman Patrick McHenry. When you look at other committees like the House Judiciary Committee, can anyone imagine what the difference is for oversight between a Jerry Nadler and a Jim Jordan? So as far as setting the agenda, legislatively, appropriations, negotiation of legislation, subpoenas, there's just a big accountability factor that is grossly missing right now from the one-party Democratic rule we have today. Pelosi's not trying to hold the Democrats and the Biden administration accountable. She has enough problems on her own hands right now at home. She's definitely not looking to add to it by giving Joe Biden a hard time.
I know you're running for governor, and a lot of these problems that we're dealing with are federally based. I mean, we just listed off a bunch of Keystone XL, the Nord Stream 2 support for that pipeline in Germany to Russia. But when you talk to potential voters that are supporters, what do you say to them that a governor could do in this situation? What are those things that you could do as governor of New York that might affect the lowering of prices?
So in New York, we sit on the Marcellus and Utica shales, which is actually named after two New York towns. We have other states, Pennsylvania and others, that tap into the same resource of the same shales, but we're not tapping into it here. I believe that we could safely extract this resource. Now, they're fear-mongering. When they enacted their ban here in the state, they were making it seem like if you turn on your faucet, fire was going to come out, so they banned it. Well, we should reverse that ban and think about all the jobs that would be created and the energy costs that would be brought down, the new revenue, local communities revitalized. We have a bunch of pipeline applications in our own state that should be getting approved that instead are being delayed and denied. We also see it with where the one-party Democratic rule in Albany exists right now where they're trying to pass a new bill as we're having this conversation. They're trying to ban all gas hookups on new construction statewide. They just did it in New York City after de Blasio and Jumaane Williams and AOC and their friends blocked the Williams pipeline from bringing natural gas into and through New York City. So what we see is a clear contrast on so many different policies of where conservatives want to go as it relates to the economy and public safety and education and freedom, and where these Democrats want to take our states and our country, where it's like they want to make our country like some other country somewhere else. I think the contrast is pretty stark.
Okay. Congressman Lee Zeldin, stay safe on the campaign trail. Check back in with us soon, please.
Thank you both.